I wonder if this works. This is going to be interesting. Let's test this out real quick to see what's going on. Sort of the stream quality is low. Whatever that means. Well, let's try this again. I wonder what this is all about. I've never done a stream before, and we'll see what happens if anyone shows up. I don't know if I show up. Let's see. Maybe I'll test it out and see if I can find something on my phone. I don't know. How do I tell if anyone's here? I have no idea how to do that either. This is my inaugural stream, and what an inauguration we have for this one. This is the Reds-Pirates fight. We're going to talk about that quickly. So let's go back to the beginning. And it all starts in the bottom of the... Well, actually, if you really want to go back, it all starts back in April when these two teams fought. Jeff Kellogg had those ejections. And I wish I had a better sense of how to actually get that into the other window here. Because... I don't know. This thing will let me do it this way. But if you are inclined to look at the history, since I don't know how to put that up, I only know how to do one thing at a time, unfortunately, better for worse. Here is Jeff Kellogg's, if you can see that at all. I just popped up the write-up of Jeff Kellogg's ejections back in April. This was the first bench-clearing brawl between the Pirates and the Reds. Anywho, we're going to go away from that for a second. Now that you know that the difference, what the history is, let's delete that and play through here and see if I know what I'm doing at all, which I don't. So bear with me. Puig is going to take a pitch for a strike that he disagrees with. David Bell, the manager, is going to disagree as well. As you can see, the pitch is actually a strike. Pitch was actually a strike, so Bell's going to get run here for arguing this. Can't come out to argue balls and strikes, exactly like we hear there. You know, we're fortunate that we hear the Reds because Chris Welch is on the Reds. He's a broadcaster, and he's one of the best in the game at knowing the rules. He has baseballrulesacademy.com, I believe, is his site, and that's probably the most rules knowledge announcer that exists in baseball in terms of actually wanting to know the game. Anyway, Bell's tossed here for arguing balls and strikes. We got a money's worth comment from the broadcaster there, so add a +1 to that. But that's how this starts. Yasiel Puig may or may not be traded after this game, so it's weird to see him in the game. There's the manager setting a record for most ejections on the Reds. We have warnings in effect, and then we have an intentional hit-by-hit ejection. So Jared Hughes is gone, and Benavides, who is Bell's replacement acting manager, he's out of the game. So this is turning into something fun. Bell was gone, and now his replacement's gone, and the pitcher's gone for the intentional hit-by-pitch in the 9th inning. And this isn't over yet. But as we can see, it's still pretty calm. The pitcher's going to walk off the mound like it's, you know, I did my job, I guess, and he just walks off, whatever. And Benavides comes out nonchalant as the acting manager saying, okay, I'm going to put this guy in. I guess I'll bring Amir Garrett into the game. You know, very matter-of-fact, very businesslike, nothing too unusual here. And Larry's just standing over near the dugout waiting for it. He's just going to talk. And it's a very calm conversation. There's nothing out of the ordinary. But then Amir Garrett, who was involved in the first fight in April. Remember, he was involved in the first fight in April. And now the broadcasters discuss how Puig may not be on the team anymore. That's pretty funny. Not for you if you're a player, but he may not be on the team and he's playing in the game. What does he have to lose? That's his mindset. And so this is, this is Garrett coming in the game. He's going to eventually give up a home run. And he's going to induce a ground out. 2 outs. It's 11-3. The game's well out of hand. He induces a ground out as he's walking back to the mound. He's looking in the Pirates' dugout. They must say something. He sort of waves at them nonchalantly, but sort of a taunting wave. And so now there's a little bit of a back and forth. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting upset. And this is the Reds' third manager of the game that's now going to the mound. And Garrett is going to start yelling at him. He's really mad at the Pirates. And the manager's saying, hey, stop it. Stop it. And he's like, you don't understand how upset I am. And the Pirates are still yelling at him. And now he's yelling at them. And he looks around and he thinks, this is ridiculous. Let's go. And Vanover is just standing by saying, I don't want to see this. Garrett threw a punch. We have a bench clearing brawl right in front of the Pirates bench. So, of course, the Pirates have their entire roster and coaching staff there. And the Reds don't. So the Reds have to come out from their dugout, and this is just a mess. And if you look really closely, you'll see David Bell, the Reds manager who was ejected earlier in the game, at the bottom of the pile. And you're thinking, a manager who was ejected coming back on the field during a fight? Where have I seen this before? Toronto, John Gibbons did this, and he got suspended for that. And I anticipate, and he wasn't as involved, not even closely as involved as David Bell. Look at this. He's being restrained, all of this crazy stuff. So I can only imagine what Bell's suspension is going to be. And again, I apologize for the quality of this stream. It's my first time doing this, and again, what a first time it is. But I wanted to at least try to give you an idea of how I see the fight. Because I just wrote the ejection report, and it was really, really long. 9 ejections is the longest of the season. There's Garrett flexing for the camera. You're just adding to your penalty at this point. David Bell he's going to get hit the most out of anyone. It would be a huge shock if Bell doesn't get hit more than anyone else with a punishment here. Because he was ejected, and he came back out and participated in the fight. Now, his bench coach, the first acting manager who was ejected, Benavides, he came back out too, but he was a peacemaker. So he might get a game or two as a simple technicality of returning to the field after being ejected. But Bell returned to the field after being ejected and substantially participated in the fight and was at the bottom of the pile, tried to go at Clint Hurdle, and here's Yasiel Puig's reason for getting ejected right now. He reignites the fight. Crick is gone because he provoked Puig into reigniting the fight. So Crick says something, Puig doesn't like it, and that's why both of them were ejected as well. Cervelli was ejected as well. I didn't see what Cervelli did on first look, but MLB has so many angles to watch this from when they go and discipline and goes back. And, one of the questions that I got asked is, if MLB really wants to put a stop to this, they just need to make automatic suspensions for anyone who leaves their position to fight. And I agree, that's a great idea in high school and college, maybe even in the minor leagues. But in Major League Baseball, and we've been over this before, in Major League Baseball, the league thrives on these situations. And what I mean by that is, no, they don't like it when their players fight and get potentially injured, or there's this sort of distraction from the game. They don't like that as much, but they love the fans that watch them. And I looked at the MLB YouTube account. I forgot when I did this a few years ago, and I came out with this analysis of that. And of the top, I think it was the top 16 or maybe even 20 videos, about half of them related to ejections or fighting or beanballs or something of that nature. So MLB loves this stuff because, like anything else, it's a revenue producer. So I don't foresee any substantial incentive to change the rules or guidelines to deal with it. I do see, of course, you're going to have to punish people. Again, it's going to be led by Bell with the longest suspension of anyone who's involved in this because he returned after ejection to do this. Puig's going to be up there. Now, what's really interesting is Puig going to be sitting on the bench as a member of the Reds or of the Indians, as has been reported? And if I'm Cleveland, because the deal cannot be finalized if Puig is still playing for the Reds on the field, and I'm seeing this as the Indians, I'm thinking, how do I pull the plug on this guy? But is that a knee-jerk reaction? I don't know. But then again, this is not Puig's first rodeo with this type of an event. He was ejected, if you recall, with Garrett in the first fight of the year between these two teams back in April by Jeff Kellogg. So this is not an unusual scenario for Puig to find himself in, but it comes with the territory. You're getting a very talented ball player in Puig, but you're also getting someone who has the propensity to do something like this. There are a bunch of first-timers in here, too. Crick is a first-time ejectee. I think Archer was a first-time ejectee. Things of that nature. So you have some first-timers that are mixed in with the veteran ejectees, so to speak. David Bell, of course, sets the managerial record for the Reds with this ejection. And I looked through the report that I wrote, and it's it has to be the longest bottom paragraph that I've ever done for this. Cincinnati now has 21 ejections in 2019. I don't know if that's an MLB record, and I'm going to try to research that. There's Garrett throwing haymakers and all that, and I think he missed, but he got him on the sort of the follow-through. Like, look at that, he hooks him on the neck, kind of, and then he's like, I'm going to knock your hat off. And then I think that little left forearm shiver type of thing might have have got him. Here's my favorite part. PA announcer plays, "Can you feel the love tonight?" Working in sports entertainment, you live for stupid things like this. I've stopped playing like the Rocky theme for fights, and now I play things like Barney's "I love you, you love me, we're a happy family." That sort of a thing. Facetious, and I'm like, because it's at the end of the day, it's pretty funny and stupid at the same time. But yeah, so here we go. David Bell's 8th ejection of 2019. Jared Hughes' first career MLB ejection. Freddie Benavides' first career MLB ejection. Amir Garrett's second ejection of the year. Remember, he was part of the fight in April. Yasiel Puig's third ejection of the year, first since June 25th, arguing with Kerwin Danley. Chris Archer's first career MLB ejection. Kyle Crick's first career MLB ejection. Trevor Williams' first career MLB ejection. Francisco Cervelli's first ejection since September 15th, 2018, Trip Gibson, arguing balls and strikes. And Larry Vanover's first ejections since September 15th, 2018, Bob Melvin, for arguing balls and strikes. So the Reds broadcast has surmised that maybe Williams was the guy in the Pirates dugout who sort of chirped Garrett to begin with. And again, the reports will come out in the coming days. We'll figure it all out, or the league will pretend to figure it all out and all that. But a lot of first-time ejectees on the list, and some repeat offenders as well. We'll see how the league sorts this out. Again, Bell should get the longest. Some of the first-timers probably should get shorter, if anything. But this game did eventually end. And the Pirates did eventually blow out the Reds, as they were leading by a significant margin in the top of the ninth when this whole thing happened. And here, look at this. These are two previously ejected Reds, Bell and Benavides, huddling up. One of them was involved in the fight. The other one was sort of trying to be a peacemaker. And here's Larry, poor Larry, trying to figure it all out. And this is, the umpires, this is where the umpires should be allowed to go to the replay center in New York. Hey, New York, who should we throw out of this? Who was part of the fight? NBA does this. And NC2A Sports does this as well. And honestly, Major League Baseball, if you have a replay center, please let them go to the replay center to see what they can do. In any case, that's all I got for now. And again, this was my first stream. Apologize for the quality of this. It wasn't that great. But thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time on Close Call Sports.